To appreciate the history of our monastery, we need to go back to Eichstätt, Bavaria, because in 1852, 3 of the sisters left the community there, left their monastery, and came to the United States to found the first Benedictine women's community here in America. And they came to St. Mary's in Pennsylvania. And the reason they came was because they wanted to educate the German immigrants who were here, and also to spread the Benedictine spirit or the Benedictine values. So what happened was that when they came here, they left a huge monastery in Eichstätt and came to a little log cabin, and that's where they worked and where they ministered, always aware of what were the needs of the people there. So their monastery, or their school, as well as their monastery, really flourished. And because of the great number of girls who came to be educated, plus the great number of young women who wanted to join their community. So they outgrew that little house, and then they were invited to come to St. Cloud, Minnesota. So for the first time, the Benedictines were established in St. Cloud, Minnesota, and then later on, they went to St. Joseph, Minnesota. And in St. Joseph, Minnesota, they established the largest Benedictine women's community in America. And again, they came to educate. They came to be of service to the people and the students in any way that they could. So they became so large. Again, they flourished, and that monastery became so large that they actually founded 10 various communities. And St. Paul's Monastery is one of those communities. So in 1948, 178 sisters left St. Benedict's to establish a new monastery here in St. Paul. And we like to think that they came with that same pioneering spirit, that same faith, that same trust in God that the 3 sisters who left Eichstätt back in 1852 had, these sisters had. And again, they came to teach. And I like to think about it now as we, because I'm a member of that community. I didn't come in 1948, but I came the following year at Easter. I mean, 6 of us from our novitiate class up at St. Benedict's in St. Joseph, Minnesota, came down here to St. Paul's Monastery. And the reason I came was that I wanted to belong to a smaller community, I believe, and also my family lived in this area, so it was another kind of reason for my coming here. And again, we came to be of service. We came to be of service to people in need. And so we were teachers, we were worked in care centers, and then we had wonderful women, sisters who ministered to us while we were teaching. They took care of preparing our meals at the convent, doing the laundry and cleaning. So that was a wonderful service that they gave to us. When we lived on Summit Avenue, 301 Summit in 1948, again, the number of women who came to our community was great. And so we were living out of 4 houses on Summit Avenue because of the large number of women who had come. And so in order to be together, we purchased some land in Maplewood. And so we purchased and to build a monastery there. When we went to the Archbishop to tell him that we wanted to build in Maplewood, he asked that we first build a high school for girls in this area. And so on this land, this 40 acres of land, we raised money, and we taught in those schools. We were also the administrators, so that in 1958, 21 freshmen came to that school. And again, the sisters were very involved, again, in the education. And because of the values that the sisters taught, again, we had many women who wanted to come to our community. And so that school today, that Archbishop Murray Memorial High School, has really flourished, and today it's known as Hill Murray. We wanted to also build then a monastery that was near that place. And so, and the 79 acres, the high school was on 40 acres, and we built a monastery on the other 39 acres. And that place was a place of prayer. And it was also a place where women could come for their formation years in our, to become a sister or to join our community. And it was a space from which we got the inspiration and the energy to go forth and continue our ministry, again, which was many times was in teaching in many various forms. In addition to that 80 acres in which the school and the monastery were, we also purchased land across from us on Larpenteur to be kept as open space. And it was part of, from the city of Maplewood through the Trust for Public Land to keep that as open space. And also across 120 in Oakdale, we had 29 acres, and we also sold that, so it would be kept as open space. And when, after Vatican II, and when our membership began to decline, we made some important decisions. And always we got together in a community and meetings and set aside the first Sunday of every month when all of the sisters came back to the monastery so we could discern what it is and the direction that we were to go. Because we knew that we wanted to be a viable community, regardless of the number or who was with us, that we would continue to spread the values. So as we met, one of the things we did is we had a laundry building, and we renovated that so that it became the Maplewood Child Care Center, again, so that we could serve children and also serve the parents. And we continued to open our doors to the Benedictine Center. And our retreat center is very unique because it is housed within our monastery. So as people come for quiet and for peace, we invite them to come and share in our meals. We invite them to come and share in our prayer. So it's a mutual blessing for everybody who comes, and surely a blessing for all of the sisters. And then as I said, we continued to serve in the parishes and institutions in the metro area. In addition to education, we were in pastoral ministry. We always worked in care centers where we took care of the sick and the elderly. Many of the sisters were in spiritual direction, worked in the arts, and addressing the social issues that kept changing and that kept coming up. So as we were going along in our discernment study, we realized that we needed to do something as we moved into the future. And so we decided that we would sell our share of Hill Murray School and the land adjacent to us, so that school continue also to prosper and also to carry on the Benedictine tradition instead of being dependent on us. So they could go ahead and be on their own in any way that they wanted to. We decided to sell our present monastery and that we would build a monastery that was scaled to our needs and population. We also decided that we would provide land for affordable housing for seniors and for families. And for sure that we wanted to continue to open our doors to people who came to the Benedictine Center, and we would continue to support the Maplewood Child Care Center. So after spending many meetings and much discernment and talking to a lot of people, We were blessed with the help of many lay people who shared our hope for the future and who shared what it is that we wanted to do. And so we made the decision to sell our monastery to Tubman, which is an organization that serves families and women and children, and that we would sell our land to Common Bond to build affordable housing for seniors and families. So that continued what we felt that our mission was, to serve women, children, families, and seniors. So these two new partners, or these new partners who worked with us, they reflected our Benedictine commitment to hospitality, be compassionate to those in need. And so working with those new partners, we would serve whoever is in need of our help for the rest of our lives. And we also agreed, as I said, that the Benedictine Center would be a prominent place in this new monastery that we built, so that future generations would also learn about the rule of St. Benedict and the values, of course, which are also based on gospel values. So we moved into that new monastery on February 10th, 2009, in the monastery that we presently live in. And again, many oblates and friends were there to help us as we moved. So as we move ahead with Tubman and Common Bond, and as we move ahead with the oblates and countless volunteers and many friends as our partners, we believe that long into the future, we're going to continue to live our Benedictine values here. So if we look at the corner of Century and Larpenteur, it is a wonderful witness that many people can live together. Many organizations could work together to extend the Benedictine values of hospitality, of prayer, and especially of being of service wherever and whenever we are needed.